Hi, we're Meeples Abroad, and today we are learning to play Lonely Bears by Bear Bros Gaming.
The idea of the game is to make your bears stronger by giving them crazy equipment so they can defeat other bears in battle. Let's start with the setup. With all the cards face down, separate the cards into two decks. One deck has gold backs, these are your bears, and the other has silver backs, your equipment and event cards. Shuffle the cards with the silver backs and place both decks face down in the middle of the table. And if there are two players, put 8 of the bear cards back in the box, leaving 11 in the middle of the table. So each of the bears start with 2 defense and 0 attack. If you give your bear a weapon, let's say the rideable nuke, then they have 5 attack. It would then have 2 defense and 5 attack. Well, let's see later on how this works in battle.
Okay, let's talk about the first turn. First of all, decide which player is going to go first. This is player 1, who should play through all 4 phases. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Handily labelled on this player card. Okay, so phase 1 is the draw phase. In the very first turn only, we're going to take 2 bear cards. After that, we'll only take 1. So I flip over my 2 bear cards, and these are now part of my bear army. Next, I'm going to take 6 equipment cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to keep these cards in my hand. At the moment, no other players have taken any cards. Next, we're going to go into phase 2. This is the play phase of my round. So every turn you may choose to play an equipment card from your hand and attach it to one of your bears. Now, equipment cards are either weapon cards or defense cards. So defense cards have these shields here, defense of value 2, and weapon cards have the sword. This is an attack of value 1 or an attack of value 2. In the play phase, I may attach one of these cards to one of my bears, either upping its defense or upping its attack. So, for example, I could place this card here, bringing my lonely bear, Senile Sally, up to 1 attack, and she still has her 2 defense, which she starts with. Alternatively, I might instead add a defense to my Billy No Balloons, giving him a defense of 3, and his attack is still down at 0. Now there's one extra rule here, which is that I can actually attach 2 cards if they are the same type, so defense or attack, and of the same value. So here I have defense cards of value 2, so I can actually attach them as a single turn. So I'm going to make my Billy No Balloons of defense value 6. Okay, and phase 3 is the play or draw phase. So you have a choice to make here. You can either choose to play an additional card down with your bears, so we could increase Senile Sally's attack, or instead I could have chosen to take another card from the silver pile. And phase 4 is the attack or draw phase. So you have a choice. We can either draw another card from the silver pile, or we can attack another player's bears. Now, as no other player has bears at this stage, I am forced to draw a card. Now, note, you can only have a maximum of 7 cards in your hand, so it could be that there are times where you just cannot do anything. Player 2 then takes their first turn, and because it's their first turn, they will draw 2 bear cards and lay them in front of them. This makes the start of their bear army. They will also draw 6 cards, 6 silver cards on their first turn. Phase 2, they are going to play a card from their hand and attach it to their bear. This could be an attack or a defense card. Phase 3, the player is allowed to choose whether they will play again or whether they will draw a card from the deck. And phase 4, the player could either draw 1 more card or choose to attack.
Okay, let's look at it if you were attacking instead of drawing a card. So I'm going to put that card back. Now, if you choose to attack, you must first declare which of your bears you are attacking. Each bear can only attack a single bear, and 2 bears can't gang up on a single bear during the same turn. If you are attacking multiple bears, you choose in which order to settle each battle. You also can't attack your own bears, obviously. To kill an opponent's bear, you must have an attack value greater or equal to the opponent's defense value. Now, in this example, Fat Steve is going to be attacking Senile Sally. Let's look at the statistics. Fat Steve has an attack of 3, while Senile Sally has a defense of 2. So that wins over that. Now, Senile Sally will also be attacking Fat Steve because they're in battle with her 1 attack, and because Fat Steve has a defense of 2, Senile Sally loses that battle and Fat Steve wins. So following an attack, it could be the fact that 1 bear dies or both bears could die. After the battle, the winning bear gets the losing bear as their trophy, discard, put them face down on your pile, and the winning bear has to give up 1 of either weapon or defense.
So I've just lost my bear card, which has become a trophy, and I need to remember to discard any of the attached weapons or defense cards that I had attached to it. So I'm going to create a discard pile, which I'll place next to the draw pile, and if we run out of cards in the draw pile later on, we'll shuffle it to become the new draw pile. Now there's one other type of card that we might have in our hand, in addition to our weapons and defense cards, and these are event cards. And event cards can be played at absolutely any time during the game, including during the attack phase. So just a moment ago, when I was attacked, I could have said, hold up a minute, and played the Ring of Power card, which would have given a bear of my choice a +10 attack to be used for that turn only. However, it would have meant that I'd also killed off the other bear and won it up as a trophy. Anyway, I didn't do that, but let me just show you a couple more of event cards that we might have. This card, Overly Complicated Rules, can be played at any time to cancel the effect of somebody else's event card. So if I had tried to use that Ring of Power a moment ago, some player could have actually used this to stop me from playing this card. There are some event cards that can only be played at specific times during the game. If you note this symbol down here, this trophy, that means you are only allowed to play one of these event cards if you hold fewer trophies than the opponent you are playing the card against. If you notice this lonely bear on this event card, this means the event can only be played at a part of the game where there is still a lonely bear's draw pile. Once everyone has had their first turn, the game continues with each player taking turns. After the first round, however, you only flip 1 lonely bear card at the start of each turn and draw 2 equipment cards, rather than the 6 that we drew in the first round. Play goes on until there are no bears left in the bear deck and every player's last lonely bear is killed. At that point, anyone with bears still alive may take them as trophies for themselves.
Next, count up your trophies and the person with the most wins. It is possible to have a draw, in which case a rematch is best. So that's Lonely Bears by Bear Bros Gaming. Hope you enjoy playing it. Check it out. We're Meeples Abroad. See you later.